Howdy ACHS class of 2026. This is the senior workshop in case you were not able to see it. So here goes. So please follow the CCR Center Schoology group. In order to do so, you will log into one link, click Schoology, go to Groups. Please don't go to Course, go to Groups and enter the access code here. It may or may not require these dashes. Try it both ways. And then, this is where I will be posting all the updates because you guys cannot access social media during the day. So please check out this Schoology group. So the learning intentions for the day, I wanted to introduce you guys to different college application platforms, teach y'all how to utilize SchoolLinks to help y'all keep track of apps, recommendations, resumes, and receive important messages. Also, an introduction to scholarships, the financial aid graduation requirement, and FAFSA and TASFA. So if you didn't know, the free and reduced lunch application is open. If you think you could qualify or you don't know, I would highly recommend applying because there are many advantages such as increased funding to support student education and services, may result in free or discounted fees to participate in athletics, financing of dual credit courses for students who are eligible for free and reduced lunch, and may qualify you for reduced fees for AP, SAT, and or ACT tests, and may qualify you for discounted rates on internet services. So another plus is that you can get free applications for colleges instead of having to pay the, let's just say, $50 to $100 fee per application. So please apply by scanning this QR code. So the different college application platforms you may use. If you plan on applying to colleges only in Texas, then you would want to use Apply Texas. If you happen to be applying to any schools out of state, then you would want to use Common App. Some colleges will not be available on either of these two platforms, so you might have to apply directly on their website. There are other application programs you may use, such as the Common Black College app, which is for HBCUs, where you can apply to at least 50 in one application. There's also the Coalition app via Squire. There's so many, but I do want to say that Common App is the only one that automatically syncs with SchoolLinks. Any other of them will not, which just means that you will have to manually update your application statuses as they come, whereas Common App will automatically sync. But Common App only houses about 20 Texas institutions, so if you're for sure only staying in Texas, then Apply Texas is the way to go. If you don't know how to create an application portal account, I have made some YouTube videos on creating your Apply Texas account and a Common App account. So just either type in these links or scan the QR code to view those videos. So there are different college application deadlines that you may see. The most common application one is regular decision. This one usually gives you the most time to complete your application, with deadlines usually around, for UT and A&M, it's December 1st. But other than that, generally January to February, and students usually hear back by April. I highly recommend any of these other ones though, because regular decision deadlines tend to be after the scholarship deadlines. So rolling admissions is an ongoing decision timeline where schools consider each application as it arrives and may accept or reject it almost immediately. So you don't have to wait for April to hear back. just like regular decision. Early action is an accelerated application process that usually has a November deadline. Students typically receive a decision before the end of the fall semester. This is a non-binding commitment between you and the school, and it just indicates that you have a great desire to attend by applying EA. Then we have early decision. This is a strict application process that is binding. So students accepted must attend this school and withdraw all other applications. You must be okay with the financial end, as you are bound to this school before financial aid awards come out. So this one, you only want to do it if you think you can afford it. The pro of this is that it shows the college how interested you are and dedicated, because you're kind of crossing everybody out just to go here. So be aware, ED is binding. So what is your rank? If you don't know what your rank is, you can log into Skyward, go to Portfolio, and then click Rank Letter. There's a download button, and then you will be able to see. At the bottom, it'll say your quartile, but if you want to know the exact percentage of the class you're in, you will divide your rank by the total class size. So, School Links, I'm going to read the instructions, but then I'm going to go over them actually. So, if you've never logged into School Links, you might have to complete the onboarding before you do anything else. It just asks you, what are you interested in, true or false between some pictures, and it gives you kind of like a personality career test that you could possibly match some careers with that. So for the slide here though, you will log into School Links through Clever. Click on colleges and then select college applications, and then you're going to set up your application page. So you're going to want to click Get Started. It will ask you to enter your personal information such as your address. The next one is whether you want to share your rank. So this is super, super important, because after you click next on this one, you cannot change your answer. So you really have to know, based on the previous slide and where you saw your rank was from Skyward, if you would like your colleges to see that. So the reason that this is a question is because Fort Bend is a non-ranking district, meaning they will not share your rank unless otherwise stipulated in the second question here. So the next one after that is enter your fee waiver eligibility. So if you're on free and reduced lunch, then you will notate that. If you happen to get any government assistance, then you will notate that. You can click multiple, and this one you can change the answer to, and then you'll click next. And then in this next one, this is also one that you cannot change the answer to. So you got to make sure to go correctly when answering this. So this one, if you would like to be accepted into colleges, and it sounds kind of backwards, but FERPA is basically a right that you have that protects all of your private information. However, if you notated, I would like to protect my right, then that just means that your counselors will not be able to share anything with your information on it. Now, that sounds great and all, but that also includes your transcripts, your rank letter if you chose to share it, all these things that are required for college admittance. So you will want to waive your right in order for those documents to be sent. Otherwise, they cannot. And then you won't be able to be accepted due to an incomplete application. So on this one, please put I waive my right and I understand, sign your name, and then you'll move on. And then after that, you will add any applied colleges to your list and mark it as submitted. This generates an automatic transcript request for colleges. So if you are using Common App, when you connect your Common App account within the same section to School Links, your applications to colleges will automatically be updated, whereas all others will have to be manually added. So let me show you this screen here. So this is what I was talking about. So you're going to want to go to college, then college applications, and then it'll show you this lovely page. You'll click let's go. I'm going to click random things here. So just ignore. Please don't copy exactly. And then next. Okay. All right, so if you wanted to share, it will turn green. If you don't want to share, you leave it just like that. But please know that once configured, whether or not your class rank is shared cannot be edited, okay? So once you click next, you won't be able to ever change this answer ever again. So if you liked it, you click the share. If you don't, then you'll leave it as such. And then you'll click next. So do you qualify for an application fee waiver? Please read all of these to see if you happen to meet them. If you're on free and reduced lunch, then you will click this one and then just click next. When you're on free and reduced lunch, though, you do automatically get SAT and ACT fee waivers. So you can technically click both if you're on free and reduced lunch. If you're on none of them, then you just click none of them apply. But I'm going to click that. And this is that FERPA waiver. This is where you notate, I understand what it means to waive or not to waive. You will waive your right to view all recommendations and supporting documents submitted by me or on my behalf. And then you will sign your name, click I understand, and sign waiver. This is pretty much the answer for everybody. The only one that isn't is that rank one. But if you want your counselors to share your stuff, you will have to waive your right. And then click sign waiver. Click finish application setup. So if you have a Common App account, you will want to link it here. I'm just going to click unlink so that you can see what it would look like. Okay, well usually it would say link account or connect, and then you would link that here. And for those that are of Rex, this is where your brag sheet will need to be completed. And then if you do have a Common App account, all those applications will be automatically added here. The statuses as well. The only thing that you will have to notate, even on Common App accounts, applications, is whether you got accepted or denied or withdrew, deferred, all those things. Apply Texas, Common Black College App, Coalition, all of those you will have to add manually by clicking add application. Let's just say you did, let's just say Northeastern. So you'll just click the college. You do only want to add colleges that you've completed, and then click add application. So you see that you can apply via Coalition or Common App for this one. And then it will ask, what application type you did. So make sure that you notate the correct one. If you're applying like right now, it's September by the way, then try to apply for early action. That way you can get those extra scholarship benefits and then hearing your decision earlier on. I'm just going to click Common App and click Save Application. And then this is where you will log in, connect your account, and all those things. So yeah, that's how you do that. So once your college is added, you will be able to see, let's just bring that back up, let's do Coalition just for us being able to do this. All right, so you will be able to see any requirements if there was any. This one does require a letter of rec, so this is where you would just add recommender. And let's just say, well, okay, so then you would add your teachers, because I'm not your teacher and I only know you guys to a certain extent. But yeah, make sure to add your teachers here, click next, and then this is where you will see your counselor document. So let me go back to that. So on the left here, for example, this one had, don't forget to check off that you submitted your app, your test scores, and your FAFSA or TASPA, depending on your status. And then on the right, it would have automatically populated those documents that needed to be sent. So if you just so happen to stipulate that you are on free or reduced lunch, then for those Applied Texas or any of those other ones, they would have a NACAC fee waiver added, and then your transcripts would also be added request automatically. If it's red, then that means it has not been sent yet, and then if it's green, it means it has. So if it gets around that deadline and you're worried that your documents aren't going to be sent in time, you can give your counselor a respectful and gentle nudge, but please don't be asking for things at the very last minute, because they also have to counsel, change schedules for new students, things like that. So yeah. So transcripts, you can find your unofficial one in the same exact place that you found your rank letter, which is in the Skyward portfolio. You can also request, or your official transcripts will automatically be requested when you add the college. So kind of in the last slide, you saw the transcript as a counselor doc. And then if you need one for a scholarship or sports, you can enter it as a record request under the Students tab in SchoolLink. So let's show you what that looks like. So you'll click Student and then click Record Request, and then you'll click Send Official. And so some of them might require, like, see, for NCAA, it'll be here. But if it's like a scholarship and they want you to send it via email here, then you just notate what they told you, and then you can add a note like, hey, I need this for this scholarship, if you could please do this by this day, whatever. But that's just how you do that. All right, so this is just a visual recap of what I just said. So anytime you add a college application and you need an official, that will get sent by your counselor via the SchoolLink's College Application Manager. Whereas if it's scholarships, NCAA, and all those other things, then you will request it in the Student Record Request tab in SchoolLinks. So transcript requests are probably going to be processed a minimum of 2 times per week, processed within 1 week of the student's request. And if you just so happen to apply to a school or a scholarship that doesn't accept electronic transcripts, please provide a self-addressed stamped envelope to the registrar's office for faster processing. So due to FBISD policy, students and parents cannot receive a copy of the official transcripts. They may only receive that unofficial one, which can be found in your Skyward portfolio again. So, letter of recommendation. Before requesting a letter of rec, it is required that you complete a brag sheet virtually. It cannot be handwritten. So, as I was showing you earlier, there is a complete a brag sheet button in your applications manager. So make sure that you get that done prior to requesting. This is just a way for you to tell your teacher things that they might not know about you. They only get to see the student that you are in class, not that you get to go volunteer here or that you're also in these extracurriculars there. So it just helps them get a better picture and more things to write about. Also, kind of showed you earlier, but requesting a letter of rec will be done with that little plus button in each of the applications. It will stipulate whether you need one and how many are allowed. So here it says 2 are optional. Make sure to read the instructions from your college, because it might ask you to do only core classes instead of all your arts, or it even might ask you to ask for teacher letter of recs from outside the district. So just please read that. When you need a letter of recommendation from your counselor, it will notate whether it's required. So make sure to complete your profile in SchoolLinks. Let's see, I'll show you where that's at. So when you click your name here, you can add like what your goal is, add all of these things. This will help them, as well as that brag sheet that I was talking about, which I'm just going to show you again. So that's here. So once you fill this out, they'll be able to see that. Plus click on your profile for those extra things. You can toggle between them here, but it'll really just take you to that part at the bottom. So it's a up and down thing. Once you're done too, you can actually turn it into a resume. All you got to do is put your personal information here and you can download it. Okay, so let's go back to that. So yeah, make sure that when you do the request, you do it in writing via email, and also please include a deadline in your message and give your counselors and teachers at least 3 weeks before your final deadline to complete and submit your letter of rec. So a deadline is not when you click submit. A deadline is when all parts of your application must be received by the college, okay? So these are the lovely ladies who are going to be sending your documents. Please be respectful of their time. That's why I'm telling you do the 3 week ahead of time, because they all, as well as teachers, have things to do, such as teachers have to plan for class, grade papers, counselors have to counsel and change schedules for new students, things like that. So these are your counselors based on last names. There are other school links tasks. This is a district mandated thing. Y'all are not new to this. This is something that I went in classrooms about last year. They're just little tasks that kind of help you with life afterwards. So exploring different careers if you don't know what you want to do. Update your resume, which is beneficial for even if you're going into the workforce. Updating your post-secondary goal, your scholarship match profile, completing your financial aid application, recording college acceptances, adding any financial aid letters and scholarships, and then setting up your personal account so that you can still have access to Schoollinks after high school. So Schoollinks is awesome because it still has internship opportunities, job opportunities, things that might be useful for you even after high school. So the last one is the senior year-end activity. This is how you will request your final transcript and tell us where it needs to be sent. If you don't do this, we won't know where to send it. So all of these are mandatory, but this one is very important. So financial aid application opens October 1st. So there is the federal financial aid application, the FAFSA. That is for students who are U.S. citizens and a couple other things which you can find on the website. And then TASFA is the state financial aid application. This is for those students who are undocumented and have been in Texas for 3 years leading up to the first day of college. So if you just so happen to not fall within that requirement or between either of those, because this is a Texas graduation requirement, you can fill out an opt-out form, but you have to do either of those 3 options to fulfill your graduation requirement. Parent input is required, and evidence of submission is also required to fulfill that. You can upload this in Schoollinks as soon as you have completed your financial application or opt-out form. So scholarships. So I do have this link here. If it's all lowercase, please put all lowercase, and then this is all caps. So this is for my website that I have on the Crawford page for any application websites that I trust. Also, I do have some by grade level, so go ahead and check that out. You can also use the Schoollinks scholarship matching, where you set up your profile and it'll match a couple scholarships per year, your notations. So if you notated that you're first generation, then you might see some first generation. But yeah, these are a couple other ones that you can apply to. If you're looking for scholarships to apply for, please note that this is almost like having a part-time job. It does take some work, but the benefits are great at the end. The more you submit, the better your chances. And don't shy away from those smaller ones. I do want to show you. I'm going to just show you. So I'm going to type in that link there. /scholarships. ACHS. So that might happen. You just click this refresh button and then boom, you're here. So yeah, so this is what the website looks like. It is by grade level and then also these trusted ones. I do have a couple here. These are mainly for seniors, so go ahead and check those out. But let's just say for you guys, you'll click 12th grade. I do like this website because it does have them in chronological order. So this one is past due. I don't know why they still have that one up. But it will be, like, let's just say October will be down here and all those things. In order to see what the requirements are, they do stipulate it in the description sometimes, or you can just click on the website and it'll take you there. Oh, sorry. Also, some of them might be like 2,000, maybe even this one like says 250. But please, please, please don't shy away from those that are 200 because they do add up, and you're not going to get every single scholarship you apply to, or you could, but it's there's a chance that you might not. So just apply. That way you can have more options and opportunities. And the higher ones definitely have more competition. So yeah, this is that. Let me move out of here now. So we will be hosting a senior parent meeting where you can learn about different senior activities for the year, college and career pathways, the college application process, and how to apply for financial aid and scholarships. So it'll be on Thursday, September 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. Parents, please bring your seniors. The district will also be hosting a financial aid webinar. So if you want to join us, it will be virtual. And to learn about the different changes between FAFSA and TASFA for the 26-27 school year, which is when you guys will be going to college, and everything else you need to know about submitting your financial aid application for college. So you can either scan the QR code or type that link, but it will be Wednesday, September 24th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. So important reminders, please submit your apps before requesting letters of rec. Transcripts will automatically be populated. If you can, enter your phone number in school links to ensure that you receive all your important messages this year. You guys cannot open up your phones during school, but you can always see the text messages when you get home. It is a little easier for me to send out some notifications, but again, there also is that Schoology group that I had you guys join in the beginning. Make sure to ask your teacher if they'll write a letter of rec face to face before you submit a request in school links. And make sure to give yourself an internal deadline to get everything completed at least 3 to 4 weeks prior to the actual deadline. And complete your resume and your brag points in your school links profile. If you have any questions, please feel free to see Ms. Whaley in the CCR Center, room H102, or you can email me at deja.whaley@fortbentisd.gov. That is all for the senior workshop. Please let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to help.